Flyers TV is sponsored by the Bay Hotel.
Danny Stewart, welcome back to Fife.
Yeah, it's good to be back on the ice today for the first time. So it was good to get back out there, and real stuff starts now, I guess.
So how was the summer? What were you doing while the rest of us were watching reruns of Mighty Ducks?
Busy. It was busy summer. Obviously at the start there, little indecisive of my own plans, and obviously after it committed back to the Flyers, it was kind of getting right on top of things right away. We, me and Dutes, and had a lot of meetings, and we knew it was going to be a big turnaround for us. As to how much of a turnaround, we weren't completely sure, but it obviously became really big. And obviously with just myself and Hainsey coming back, we had a busy summer with recruiting and stuff like that. So no, it was a busy summer, but sometimes that stuff can be quite fun, bringing in new players and hearing guys with the excitement of something new and a new experience. So we're confident in the group we have, and I think we will have a lot of good guys and a lot of good players coming in.
There was a lot of speculation over the summer that you might not be back, because of some of the other jobs opening up. So what was it that kept you at Fife?
I think a big part of it was loyalty. I've been treated top notch since I've been here since day one, and I did have a couple opportunities elsewhere, and I just felt that after the way last season ended, left a bad taste in my mouth, because I do believe that in the first 3 years we made a lot of progress, and last year was a bit of a backward step for us, and I mean, ice hockey or sports, not always a natural progression. You're going to have seasons like that, and things don't always go to plan, but I think last year was a bit of a disappointment on and off the ice, and I think it kind of motivated me to come back and take another crack at it, but like I said, I think the loyalty from the club, and I'm having my first child as well, and that played a big part, and on how we get treated and stuff like that. So I don't think the timing was right for a new experience, and you know what, I enjoy being in Fife, and for the time being, I'm committed to being here.
Kyle Haynes coming back, like you said. So how important was it to get him back in the squad?
Hainsey's been a fantastic player for us since day one. Absolute professional on and off the ice, and he's a key guy, and we targeted several players that we looked to bring back, and due to retirement issues with several of them, he was one guy that we knew wanted to play, and we made a hard push for him to come back, and like I said, he's a big player for us in all areas, and whether it's special teams or 5-on-5 or even in the dressing room and off the ice. So it's huge to get him back and get some continuity in the dressing room along with the Brits as well.
So we've got some new faces coming in this season. What sort of a team, what sort of a shape of a team were you and Todd trying to mould this year?
I think first and foremost we want to get some good people in. And then I think we wanted to have a lot of balance in our line, a lot of versatility, a little bit more size. I think, specifically on the back end, we wanted to get a little bit bigger, but we didn't want to lose mobility back there. So we were able to find 4 solid imports that have some decent size, and they all have a compete level that we wanted, but we didn't lose mobility. With Tommy coming back and Wando, it's another 2 guys that compete night in, night out, and will give us their all. So I like what we have back there. Brown in net as well. Every time we face them, last year he really impressed us. He stood on his head, and he's a guy that played on a high-risk team last year, and sometimes it worked for them, and towards the end it worked for them, and sometimes it didn't. So he was in a tough position on the style of play they played, and we feel we'll be stronger defensively all around. Up front, obviously don't want to go through every single guy, but we got a lot of guys that can play center. We got a lot of movement within our lineup, and I think we're a little bit bigger up front than we were last year as well, and a little bit more committed to the back end as well. I think guys that won't be so one-dimensional and are willing to play both ends of the ice. Dutes and I, we target types of players that we want, but a lot of it depends on the pool of players that become available to us. Obviously, people don't know, but I mean, I think the Nottinghams and the Sheffields, whether if we're dealing, for example, if we're dealing with the same agent, they might be sent one pool of players and we might be sent another. And it's also about building a relationship with agents. Some of these teams have been around for a lot longer at this level than we have, and have established relationship with agents. And some agents feel more comfortable dealing with them, and maybe they have a pick at some higher end players than we do. But over the years we developed more and more relationships, and I think at the end of the day we're very happy with what we got. And a few of the players we got were guys that we had targeted, but we were able to talk firsthand to players that have played with them in the past, which is always good. Sometimes your current players and ex-players are your best resources, and then some of the other players were players that we kind of cold called on our own, and got in touch with. So good balance. There's so many different ways to get in touch with somebody and them get in touch with you. So it would take forever to kind of go through them all. But we're happy. We're very happy with the way things have turned out. And, it's starting with a full roster, I think will be a bonus for us as well.
There's some guys from last season's team will be coming back into this building with different teams. Does that give you a bit of an advantage, or them a bit of an advantage, knowing about each other?
I think at the end of the day, everyone's starting fresh, and we might know some tendencies about players. They might know some things that we maybe have strengths and weaknesses. But at the end of the day, we're bringing back a full, a big turnaround in our roster. A lot of things will change from the previous season, and they're playing on different teams with different ideals and different systems as well. So their games might change a little bit as well. So other than a bit of banter on the ice and competitive nature, and it's just moving on and getting the work done that you need done. It's I think those guys will be fired up when they come back to the barn. But anyone that plays in a barn they used to play in as a home team will come in fired up and want to impress. But we're not overly concerned about that. We're just going to focus on what we need to do night in, night out, and prepare for the season.
The Southern Conference seems to have pulled in a lot of really sort of big players. It looks like it's going to be quite physical matches between those guys.
Yeah, it's I think it's my 10th year in the league, and I think I hear the same thing every year. And there's no question there are some big boys coming in that have done it at higher levels, yes. And I think in certain games they will be a factor as well. So we did look at that. We never ever ruled that out. And like I mentioned to you before about finding that pool of players, and we talked to a few guys that were similar roles to that, and for whatever reason things didn't work out, whether it was their end or our end, and a lot of economic stuff that gets involved. But I think here in Fife specifically, we looked at our roster, and the guys we came across, we said, will they make us a better team? And the specific guys we talked to, we didn't feel they did. And we looked at things like our three lines. Our third line, do we bring in a guy that's going to be a big enforcer that maybe doesn't make our third line better, or do we bring in a guy that's going to play special teams and give us some added scoring depth? And I think to us that was more important, our depth. And don't get me wrong, if it's the right guy that can come in and play big minutes for us and can fit that role, it's a no-brainer for us. But for whatever reason, we didn't come across that guy, and we moved on from that idea, and we came across some very good players, and we decided to go in that direction.
So next weekend, or in fact this weekend, the imports start coming into town. We've got the shirt launch coming up next Wednesday, which will be the guys' first opportunity to meet the fans and vice versa. That's that's going to be quite an event for them. Yeah,
absolutely. A lot of new faces to learn, and it's exciting for the guys as well, getting to know the town and know the fans, and I'm sure they'll get a warm welcome at the start of the year, especially the new guys. And it's exciting. Getting these guys in a little bit earlier than we did last year will be key for us. And we got them all coming in, and we're going to have a full week of practice together as a team, and some additional ice times in the morning and stuff like that for obviously our full-time guys. So our imports will be on the ice a lot, and a lot of off-ice workouts as well. So full week of prep will definitely be beneficial. And then, like I said, jersey launches, stuff like that, those things are mandatory, and what the guys look forward to them and seeing what the crowd's all about.
And then you've got Belfast and Edinburgh in the exhibition games. Just how do they fit into the training as you head towards the first competitive matches?
Not so much. I think the first week it's all about getting guys on the same page, especially with a lot of new faces. Got to get everybody gelling on the same page, and we haven't seen Belfast as a team, we haven't seen Edinburgh as a team, so there's nothing to gauge it off. I mean, you can speculate what their players will be, but we haven't seen them. We'll focus more on us and get our guys conditioned and game ready as best as possible, and try to get everybody involved and also have some success in the preseason. I think we've proved in the past that the better we play at the start of the year in preseason, it kind of leads into the season. So we'll be looking to gel as a team and get some confidence early on.
And then the first competitive game in this building against Coventry. That's quite a way to start the season.
Yeah, I know it looks like they've put a good roster together. A little bit different roster than I had suspected. They seem to have gone for a lot more skill than I expected, but they'll be definitely a tough team. I mean, a lot of skill, and we know what Stewart is like in the back end. So again, a team with a lot of new faces. So sometimes it's about who's prepared the most at that time of year and who's gels and shows some chemistry early on.
You excited about the season?
Yeah, very excited. Very excited. I think, like I mentioned earlier, last year left a bad taste in all our mouths, and I'm sure the fans as well. There was a lot of high. I think for the first time in the Elite League, there was some high expectations for the club, and it didn't go to plan. So you know what? A lot of hard work in the summer, and there'll be a lot of hard work here in the next couple of weeks to prep for the season, and we're hoping for a good one.
Danny, thanks very much.